All right, so I just want to say right at the top of this that this may come off a little bit ranty, but just know that it's coming from a good place, okay? Let's do it. Hey, my name's Stan. Welcome to my drum cave. I'm a professional drummer based in New Zealand. I play live and in the studio for artists. I sell drum gear online, and I also run a website called masterminddrummer.com that's built around the premise of developing the person alongside the player. So before we kick off into today's topic, I wanted to start off with a quote from one of my favorite authors, Mr. Napoleon Hill. Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. So I've basically determined that everything in life comes down to how well we control our thoughts. Basically because it's our thoughts that determine our stay-in power for the job at hand. Now, that job at hand at any given time is simply progressing on and off the kit in some shape or form. Now, this could be general practice and how long we stay in the zone, logging those necessary hours required in order to acquire a new skill. Or this could just be simply locking in, sitting down, focusing in order to learn some new material for a gig. But it could also be how we refer to ourselves. So the things that we do, our daily practices, the things that set us up for progress, the daily habits and lifestyle choices we make. These daily micro decisions that we face every day have a huge impact on everything we do. And it all comes back to how well we control our mind and our thoughts in the first place. The thing is, when you think better, you do better. And then when you do better, you make better decisions going forward. There's sort of a momentum you build. And without a doubt, everything you do impacts everything you do. So consistent exercise, a better diet, less doom scrolling, a better attitude in general, things like a tidy practice space, making your bed, having somewhat of a daily plan, all of it. All of these thought processes start to impact each other. So they start to compound, they start to snowball, and then finally the levee breaks and everything gets much easier. This is why I say all the time that if you want to get better on the drums, dial in your health, your well-being, your relationships, and if you actually want a career in this industry, your business sense. Do this and everything gets much, much easier on the drums. And there's another great line that I really, really like, and I've written it down and I sort of refer to it on occasion, and it's simply, attitude is altitude. So the attitude that you have towards any given situation will determine the outcome of that situation. And I suppose another way to say that is that everything is a lesson or an opportunity to grow regardless of the outcome. So I'm constantly considering these ideas, considering the input that's coming into my life. Because if I really control and curate that input, what I've found is that it puts me in a way better frame of mind. I make way better decisions, and then my output as a whole is so much better. Your input really, really does determine your output. And look, I'm not perfect at this stuff, and I never claim to be, so don't ever take that from these videos. It's purely like an obsession with the process and the craft, and then trying to get my head right so that I can in turn help others get their head right to help them move forward. I mean, one of the interesting things about me is that I'm innately a very lazy person. I don't really want to push as hard as I do, which is why I do on a daily basis. So I have a super addictive personality, and in the past I've used that for not so great things. So things like smoking, drinking, drugs, porn, food, all of it. And to top it off, I really enjoy being on my own. So time can just disappear, which is probably not a great trait that I've never really felt the sense of loneliness in my life. And what I've noticed through my teaching and through my videos is that a lot of people are dealing with these same issues, just their version of it. And so this is why I do the things that I do now, so shifting bad habits to good habits, and why I'm so outspoken about it too, because for me the process worked and I'm not special, so the process can work for you guys too. So just like you, it's a daily battle for me as well. But what I've noticed is the more I think about these things, the more it sinks in, and the more it I indoctrinate it into my own personal philosophy, and then it becomes the norm. It's not something that I'm trying to do, it's just something that I do. As drummers, we fully understand that in order for us to get to the next level, so to become world class at our craft, we need to physically and mentally do a lot of rep work. And this is just basically so the body and the mind can really take to the information that we're trying to imprint on it. Well, basically it's the same with knowledge as well. It's all rep work. And I was actually just having this conversation with someone yesterday that when it comes to a really good book you've found, so something very profound in text or a video or an audio that you find super inspiring, don't just listen to it or read it once. Read it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, whatever, every single day. Drill it into your subconscious, because what you got to know is that we are not set in stone. The way that you currently think and feel about something is not forever. If there's things about your situation that you don't like, or the way that you think, or your processes or systems or routines, you can absolutely change them. And yes, you're up against it. Converting bad habits into good habits is a hard process because you have these presets set in place. But the brain is an incredibly malleable organ, and we've actually proven scientifically in recent times that although it's tough, you can change, you can adapt. And this is something that I've talked about before, but it's called neuroplasticity. So this is a recent discovery in brain science. And all it really means is that your brain has the ability to rewire and reshape itself based on new experiences, new systems, and new habits that you introduce it to over time. And what's great is it doesn't matter your age or your skill set, your brain will set up these new pathways and set a new system in place. So in other words, what you focus on, practice, and repeat consistently, whether it's drumming or mindset shifts, literally changes the way that your brain functions and the way that it operates. And this should honestly be like a mind-blowing revelation if you've never really considered this before. At all times, you have the ability to adapt and evolve and take on new concepts, but there's one condition. It only happens if the work is done at your end. It's the only way. So for me, it boils down to this. You're always in control and you're never a victim of circumstance. Want to get better at drums? Great, do it. But I don't have access to my drums. Sweet, use pads. But I hate pads. Well, then clearly you don't want to take your drumming to the next level. Want to get healthier? Do it. But I can't afford a gym membership. Go for a run. Do 5 times 20 bodyweight squats, 5 times 20 push-ups. That's your lower body and your upper body, and you've got some cardio in as well. It's a minimum buy-in to daily exercise. But I can't do 5 times 20 push-ups. Sweet, do 10 by 10. I can't do 10 by 10. Cool, do 20 by 5. It honestly doesn't matter. Just do something. Want to read more? Do it. But I can't read. Rubbish. I can't slow my brain down enough to focus on what I need to read. Be an adult. Start simple, focus on 2 pages at a time, then move to 5 minutes, then move to 15 minutes, but just start simple and build from there. Want to eat better? Just do it. But I have a friend's party coming up. I'll start after that. Look, man, there's no after that. There's only now, all right? There is no future. There is no past. There is literally just the moment that we're sharing right now. This is it. So make a decision, stand for something, commit, and just do it. Look, my whole point here is that you are always in control, whether you realize it or not. It's a perspective thing, and it's also the attitude that goes along with it. And then back to that Napoleon Hill quote right at the top of this. Self-discipline begins with mastery of your thoughts. Such a powerful sentence. Control your input, and that will in turn determine your output. So set really big goals, and then to match them, set a high standard for the work that you're going to need to achieve them. You've got this, man. I'm no different to you. You're no different to them. We're all the same. It's just a mindset shift, and then everything opens up. So just a little pep talk this week, reminding you that you honestly have the ability to take any and all of this as far as you want. No one is better. No one is worse. We are all the same. It's just an attitude and a mindset shift, and then start moving towards it. That's literally it. Now. So don't forget, you're in control always. Thanks for watching this. I'll see you at the next one.